Here's something that surprised me when I first learned it. I think it'll surprise you too. In 1973, a Stanford scientist started studying how people found jobs. He assumed, like most of us would, that people got their opportunities from their closest friends, their best friends, their family members, people that they had really deep relationships with. When he ran the study, what he actually found out was that most people got their life-changing opportunities from people that they only kind of know, acquaintances. These weren't people that they would consider family, their best friends, their favorite coworkers. It was people that they ran into once a year or casually would see in the grocery store every once in a while. And it turns out he was just as shocked by this as I was when I found out. And he ended up calling this the strength of weak ties. Now, this has been cited over 70,000 times over the years in different scientific studies. But here's why it matters for you. Your closest friends and family generally have the same sort of social circles as you. You know, if you think about your family members, the people that they talk to and hang out with the most, you probably already know. And same thing with your friends. You generally congregate in the same sort of circles. Sure, they may know a few people that you don't through their jobs, but there is a lot of overlap. But when you think about the people that you only kind of know, you know, your neighbor that waves at you from their driveway, the person that you see at the gym every once in a while, the old client that you haven't spoken to in 5 or 6 years, they have a huge network and you don't know any of them. And that's where the real opportunity lies. So how do we use this information? If our main goal is obviously to expand our social network and be able to draw in referrals from as many places as possible, we want to make sure that our list is as optimized as it possibly can be. So how do you find out who belongs on your list of people that we want to reach out to? I'm going to give you the simplest test I could possibly give you. And once you hear it, you will never overthink your list ever again. All you have to do is ask yourself this question for every person you're considering putting on your list. If I ran into them at a coffee shop, would I say hi to them or would they say hi back to me? That's it. If the answer is yes, they belong on your list. It's that simple. We don't need all of the back and forth of would they hire me if I ask them for a job? Are they thinking about selling anytime in the next couple of years? How many friends do they have? Well, how much money do they make? I see agents get stuck in this trap so much of overthinking without just taking action and building this list, when really the only thing that we need is a relationship. The only thing we're looking for is, do they know you, like you, and trust you? Because that's the foundation for getting more referrals. It's not, did they work with you previously? Do they have a brother who's an agent? Do they currently own their home, or are they planning on renting forever? None of that matters when it comes to getting referrals from them. And actually, my top referring person is someone that I never worked with and never will. They bought their forever home before I was licensed, and they're never going to sell it. But they had a good social circle, and they already knew, liked, trusted me, and they would send me a handful of referrals every single year. I almost thought about not putting them on my list because I started overthinking. But I'm so happy I did, and I've made multiple 6 figures just from the business that they've sent me. So remember that. If they'd say hi to you in a coffee shop, put them on your list. And here's a massive mistake a lot of agents make when building their list. They look at a name and they think, oh, I haven't talked to them in 7, 8 years. I'm not sure if I should put them on my list. It'll probably be kind of awkward. I'm not sure if they're going to move anytime soon. And they cross the name off. Mostly just because they feel guilty about not staying in touch over all these years. They think that they've moved on. And this is a massive mistake. I can't tell you how many agents I've worked with in this exact same situation where we have someone or a few people that they haven't talked to in 10 years, a decade. And we put them on the list, and almost immediately after they have that first contact, after we send that first handwritten card, that person replies and they're thrilled. They're so happy to reconnect and almost immediately offer up a referral. So think about what that means. Most of us feel that that relationship is gone. It's dead in the water. We didn't do our job. We haven't stayed in touch. But in reality, it wasn't completely dead. It was just dormant. It was waiting for someone to come in and water it. And this is your opportunity. Because remember, People don't stop sending you referrals because they don't like you or because you're bad at your job. The main reason is we're just not staying on top of the relationship. We're not nurturing it, and they forget you. They don't feel comfortable to be the one to reach out first. Even think about a lot of your personal relationships. How many times have you had it that an old friend reaches out to you and you're so happy to hear from them, and you feel a little bit guilty about not being the one who reached out first? So the main thing I want you to remember is do not write anyone off. And a lot of times, the longer the gap since you've spoken to someone, the bigger the opportunity there is. They have a bigger social circle and a bigger group of people that you haven't been tapping into for the last 5-10 years. So I want to do something with you real quick, because most agents don't realize how close they are to getting exponential growth in their business. So let's say you start with 50 people on your list, just 50, and we get a 20% referral rate each year from them. And that's completely doable. That's saying that every person in there will send you a referral once every 5 years. That's a pretty low bar for what we should expect. So in this situation, 50 clients, 20% send you a referral in the next year. That's 10 new clients. But here's where it gets interesting. You still have that list of 50, but now you have 10 more. So the next year, you have 60 people on your list. 20% of those refer you. That's another 12 clients. Now we have 72. Year 3, 14 new clients. Now we have 86. Year 4, 17. Now we have a total of 103. In year 5, we're getting 21 new clients. In 5 years, we've generated 74 transactions just from a list of 50 people and one strategy. And this list keeps growing every year. This isn't something that depletes. It actually builds on itself and keeps compounding over time. Now here's the fun part. Take those 74 transactions, multiply it by your average commission. What does that number look like? Because that is what is sitting inside of your sphere of influence, waiting for you to tap into it and build it. All right, so let's make this practical so we can actually start building out this list. And we can really fit people into 5 different buckets for you to think about. The first one, super obvious, past clients. Just go through your past sales, note those people down. The only people I would cut from this list are people that you didn't enjoy working with and wouldn't be super happy if they called you and said, hey, I want to sell my house that you sold me. That is one scenario that I would recommend cutting people from your list. The second one, friends and family. Start running through Facebook, your Instagram, look at your followers, look at your friends, and start noting some of these people down. Next one, professional acquaintances. Obviously, we're not going to put other agents on there, but if we have people that are like HVAC people, plumbers, home inspectors, lenders, whoever it may be, put them on your list. Bucket number 4 is community connections. If you go to church, if you go to the gym, your neighbors, any sort of clubs or groups that you're a part of, your kids' school, so your kids' friends' parents, people like that. And the last one is what I like to call dormant gold. These are the people that have been forgotten by you. Really dig deep into this. Who are people that you used to have a good relationship with that just needs to be reactivated? Who are the potential clients that slipped through the cracks? Your old neighbors that moved to a different area and you just haven't kept in touch with them. This is where the list really starts to build and get interesting as we're expanding the social circles that you're going to be tapped into. And I know what you're thinking as you're building this list and having names of people run through your mind. Do I have to think of a new message and a new outreach for every one of these people? And the answer is no. And we'll get into this in a video or two from here of how do we actually structure these messages and make sure that we're getting referrals in a non-awkward, non-salesy way that you don't have to overthink. Because the goal here isn't to push a sale or to market to someone, it's to build a relationship and keep us top of mind. Sure, we're going to have some real estate content in there so they remember what you do and know how to send you a referral, but This isn't going to be like your typical marketing. So we don't need to overthink the messages. We can write one, send it to everyone, and you'll get the results that you're looking for. So I want you to take one actionable goal before you go on to the next video. I want you to create a note in your computer, in your phone, call it Referral Goldmine. And I want you to run through the 5 buckets of people and just start listing names. As soon as they come to your mind, throw them on the list. Don't overthink it. Don't start thinking, are they going to sell soon? Don't start thinking, when's the last time I spoke to them? Just put them on your list. And most people think, well, I probably have like 15 people that I would put on this list. And they're surprised that when we start running through it, you may have closer to 80. And for a long-term goal, most people are shooting to end somewhere in the 200 to 250 range for the number of people on their list. But for right now, let's just get started with what you have. And I don't want you to think of this as a spreadsheet of names. I really want you to focus and remember that these were people that have trusted you in the past. They already like you. These are relationships that you've already built. These are people that, with the right follow-up and the right technique, would happily send you more business. So this list isn't just a bunch of names. This is your future. And I want you to treat it like that. Now that we're working on our list and we know exactly who should go on it, the next logical question most people ask is, well, how often do I reach out to them? How do I maintain a relationship without being pushy or salesy? And there is a correct frequency that I found after working with hundreds and hundreds of agents and through my own personal business. That is the sweet spot. And I'm going to go over that in the next video. So I will see you there.